Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through how I made this 4.5 by 4.5 little chunky mini album. I'm going to show you how I made the base out of just 5 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. It has a lot of room for adding ephemera, adding candy wrappers, adding photos of you and your friends dressed in your Halloween attire. Ooh, it keeps going. Let's get into it. So I had found all of the offcuts from a project that I made. I will link that project in the description below. It was just a cute little mini album. This is Hocus Pocus by Stephen Duncan for Carta. Stephen Duncan is my favorite scrapbook paper designer. I wanted to use the offcuts, and a lot of them ended up being 4-inch squares. So that's how I decided on the size of this little book. You can use this design as kind of a starting point if you want to design your own little mini albums. I designed this so that my 4x4s would have a 1/4 inch frame around them, and you'll see that as we go through. This little album starts with 5 sheets of cardstock. I'm using 110-pound Nina exact index cardstock. I cut each page down to the same size, and that is 4.5 by 10. Once you have those cut, we are going to score them. The first page is a single page that you will score at 4.5 and 5.5. And so basically what you've done is you've made a 4.5 by 4.5 page where your 4x4 will fit, a 1-inch spine, and another 4.5 by 4.5 page. A lot of designer cardstock kits, paper packs, have 4x4 cut-aparts where it's kind of like a single focal image. I didn't have any of those in this pack, but this would also be handy for a page of those types of cut-aparts. Now, the next 2 are going to be scored the same way. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 5.5 inches. So there we have a couple little tabs, a 4.5 page and a 4.5 page. And you'll want to do that twice. So the next one is 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 5.5. And the last 2 will be done at the same points as well. This one is just going to be done at 1 inch and 5.5. And its twin, scored at 1 inch, 5.5. The base part of this booklet is really easy. the first sheet that we scored that has the 1-inch spine in the middle, that's going to be our front and back cover. If you're wanting a tie closure, then let's go ahead and put that in now. I am going to use this piece of, it looks like it's a yard long, but it was on a multi-pack. And I am going to, look, I even put a little R here to remind me. The easiest way to do this is to grab it, fold it in half, find the middle, and put that in the middle. So, here. This part doesn't need a lot of glue because pieces of cardstock are going to be layered over it. Do keep in mind that I am using this ribbon, which is a fairly thick ribbon, because I also have fairly thick cardstock that will cover it without it looking too bulky. So there's that. Just gonna take some of this, glue it all the way down. Try to get it to pop out just at about the same height on either side. All right, so now we're going to take these two pieces of cardstock that we scored at 1/2 inch and 1 inch and 5.5. They both have these little U shapes or L shapes. So we're going to take one of them, and as we go, we're going to miter these corners just to take off some of the bulk where we're going to layer the images on top of them or the cardstock. So I just made some little cuts here. You can see that I have that, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this little U and I'm going to lean it into that fold. This is our front cover. So basically, you're going to have something that looks like this. You still have 1/2 inch over here. So this is going to cover up half of that spine. Hope that makes sense. Let me get it glued down and then I will show it again. Don't forget, you only want to put glue on these 2 1/2 inch little tabs or sections. So here's where that fits in. That piece starts here and works its way around. You can see the inside of it. We're going to take this other piece that we scored at 1/2 inch and 1 inch and 5.5. And we are going to glue it so that this 1/2 inch tab is at the last 1/2 inch of this page. So let's cut these corners. This section is going to be glued down. This section is going to be visible from the side of the book. So we just want this 1/2 inch to cover this 1/2 inch at the very end of this cover page. do your best to line it up using that score line as your guide. Oh, not quite. There we go. So now we have this page, folds in like that, and your little booklet should look something like this. So we have our front cover, our 2 pages, and our other 2 pages that fold out this way. Now, this can be done. Just go ahead and cover your sections with your cardstock or your painting papers or your inked papers or whatever you've got. But I'm going to go ahead and add some extra pages, or I guess they're not extra, they're just more. I'm going to add more pages. So now we have these we have these 2 sheets that are scored at 1 inch and 5.5 inches. And we're going to be working with this 1 inch section on each of these sheets. I'm going to go ahead and fold them, cut them down, just to remove some of that bulk. And each of these is going to be glued onto one of the existing pages. So we just use this tab to line it up, and we're gonna take this page and I'm gonna take the end of this page and glue it onto this 1 inch section of paper. Here we go, line it up a little bit, burnish it down, and then this one folds in just like the other one, just like an accordion. You will see that section where we layered it, but that's going to be covered up. And same thing with this one. Let's go back to our closed book. Here's our front cover. Here's that section of pages that we just added to. And here's that back section. So I'm going to take this 1 inch section and glue it onto the end of this page. Get it in there, line it up. There we go. So that's it for the little booklet. I hope that makes sense. Be sure to roll it back and watch it again. If you have any questions, put them in the description box below. And now I'm going to go through and cover up some of the pages with my premium designer cardstock. Probably have these kitty cats on the front. And then I will take some plain cardstock, cut that into 4x4, and mat them up on some of these other pages. I did end up adding the designer cardstock to just a few of the pages. This one, I added one of the leftover stickers from that pack. Here's this one. This is kind of hard to see, but it has the green, orange, and the purple. And the little kitty cats on the back. And then the rest of the pages, I just cut up some orange cardstock that kind of matches the whole thing and matted those. I, after the fact, realized that I could have left some of them open on one of the sides to make pockets, but I think that it turned out pretty cute. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.